Let me ask you a simple question. Have you been cruising around in your everyday vehicle, listening to some jams and just thought to yourself, man, this just needs more lows? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make your own subwoofer system from scratch and some tips and tricks you might need to know when you're trying to do this yourself. In case you're new around here, this is my 1990 Mitsubishi Pajero Exceed. It's a really cool big wagon style truck straight from Japan that I daily drive. On the inside, there's already been a lot of work done to upgrade the audio that was there because this had a 10-watt system in it prior to me touching it. Now it's got a decent 100-watt stereo from my Evo, and well, it just needs a little bit more oomph. It is a truck, it has some bassy tones and sounds to it, but I want something where I can just shatter bones if someone sat in the back seat. My little brother came back to visit and he left us a nice little present. This is a Rockford Series 1 subwoofer. This is a 12-inch sub and it is quite the old man. This thing is from like the early 90s. He actually got it from a friend of his up there in Ohio. And today, I'm going to finally install it in one of my cars, because originally, this was supposed to go in our Forester. And yes, for those wondering, the Forester project is coming back because we got some really exciting news we're going to share at the end of this video. So if you're interested, stick around for that. Now, to power and fit this big boy, we've actually gone and did a little bit of shopping. I'm going to show you some of what we got, but I want it known now that you don't have to do it piecemeal like we are. I'm only doing it because, well, my brother's getting the other one of the two 12-inch cones, and I've got a system set up so that I can add the second cone later if he so chooses to get a different system for himself. Also, they have some integrated systems out there already where they've already got a cone, an amp, a box, all of it all in one shot. You just have to wire the 3 wires to it and it'll go. This is not going to be one of those. This is where we put together a box, an amp, wire it up ourselves, bolt it all down, and give it a shot ourselves. Now for the bits, we've got an amp install kit I picked up from my local AutoZone. It's about $50. This is my Kicker 500-watt mono subwoofer amplifier. There are a bunch of names for these things. This is what I'm going to run with because most of my cars run Kicker speakers, so it's going to help kind of keep some of that same sound and continuity. And this is our big old 12-inch enclosure. Now, one thing that's really nice about some of these prefab boxes, as you can tell, it's been siliconed in all the corners, so I'll airtight this one out because, you know, this was one of the most easily accessible ones I had, and it comes with its own pigtails for left and right, or in this case, power and ground. Some of these bigger enclosures that have, you know, multiple ports will often have multiple wires and they'll be labeled as such, but in our case, you can tell, big red stripe, no stripe. Power, ground. To get this party started, go ahead and wire your speaker cone to the box. The red cable will go to your positive terminal of your speaker and the white or clear cable will go to your negative. After that, go ahead and bolt the speaker to your speaker box. From here out, everything else will be on the outside. Also, future Nick chiming in here for a second. While it's not shown on video, the blue wire that's in the amp kit will be what you use to reach to your stereo's signal out or remote line out. It's a lot of names for that part. That is what you're going to use to power your amp off and on. The big red wire that you see in there is going to be what you use to actually provide power to your amp. It'll connect directly to your battery. You're going to put that big old fuse that you see directly in line. That way, something happens, that fuse will blow and it won't kill your amp or blow your ears out with a huge power surge to your speaker. As far as grounds go, you're going to need something on the chassis to ground it to. Usually there are some big bolts inside of the cab space that you could easily use as a ring terminal ground to the body. Either way, so long as that thing is grounded properly, this sub should work. After that, wire your RCA's color correspondent to your sub. They'll plug into the back of your head unit. They will send sound signal directly from your head unit to the speaker cone itself. And you're going to need that RCA adapter. In my case, mine has an adapter for an RCA to plug into the amp so that it can translate the signal and give it to the sub. Now, to the inside of the car. The stuff is nice and buried. It's hidden in there. The speaker's facing into the chair. We've already got everything kind of pre-wired, as you saw. Brad's currently getting the ground set up so we can actually ground this to somewhere back here, and then we'll be able to get the power on. We'll take the stereo out and then wire in the blue. So a song called Master Stereo on. As I said, at 30% on my stereo. This is without a sub. Stick your head in. I think that says enough. Hold the gold, huh? Alright, we gotta go for a ride now. We did the job. It's time to enjoy it. As promised, I did say I had a special announcement here at the end of the video. I'm currently at Ian's house, hence why it's all nice and green. Drove the Evo out because it's a good time. And as you can see in the background, there's a Forester. Ladies and gentlemen, starting here in about a week or so, Forester's coming back. We have waited a really long time to work on this thing again, just because with me moving a lot and not having like a nailed down housing situation, we just didn't really know where and how and what to do with this. So now we got a tow truck on the way. They're coming to pick it up and we're going to a new location, which you will see in the next episode. But if you found this video helpful and informative, check out this video right here, because on this one we set up what's known as an underslung or a low mount or a flush flat or even a rumble seat style subwoofer. I think you'll really enjoy it if you like this one. This one's all about an integrated subwoofer setup.